Hi, my name is Kristi Leigh. I'm a DJ for WJTL Radio out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I, kind of focus a lot on the praise and worship side of things. And these days, praise and worship songs are, well, there's a lot of them from Josh Baldwin. I'm so thrilled that Josh is my guest today. Hey, Josh.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just chilling at the house here.
He's very low key for such an
I'm
exciting kind of like few weeks going on here, you know?
I'm trying to, well, I'm always low key. So I think my wife, she's always like, "Hey, you need to like let them know you're really excited." Like when anything good happens, she's like, I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And she's like, I just feel like you need to like just make a little more noise about it. And I was
So
like,
she
"Oh, okay,
wants it
fine."
in volume, or she wants you to
Just
say
all of
more
it.
facial
Yes, all of it.
expression.
Facial volume, just like, I am so, oh my goodness,
Yeah. See, now I feel
but
like you really are excited.
I
She's
know,
right.
it's
So the excitement is all due to, the release coming up on October 2nd. Evidence is going to be out.
yes,
And we've already got some great songs from Josh. Worship leaders are singing the likes of Stand in Your Love a lot during the pandemic season. That one's come to the surface a lot of times. Let the Redeemed. I'm also a huge fan of The War is Over and
oh
You Deserve
wow,
It All. That's one that we sing a lot at my church. It's awesome. And there's a couple others, one in particular that's on Evidence coming out in a little bit. But let's start with the first single, Josh, that came out, the single with the music video.
yeah,
So this is
yeah,
a really cool one, Into the Woods. I have a lot of questions about this song. First, do you want to just give your heart behind that new song?
yeah. Well, it's the funny thing is I started writing that song maybe 2 years ago, three, maybe close to three, 2.5 years ago. And it was for a friend of mine. It wasn't going to be like my song. We started kind of writing it for her. And then the more it like came out, it started to sound way more like she was like, "I think this is definitely your song." So that kind of happened like that. And then it was just on the shelf as like maybe one of the songs we look at for the album. And then earlier this year when we were recording, I finished the first verse of it, and it started to become this I mean, Into the Wild could be like so many different things. There's like so many ways you can go, and it uh, it went from this adventure with the Lord kind of thing. That's what it is. But then also, the first verse, it always made me think of the disciples and just how the Lord like called them out, basically to leave everything behind and come into this journey with me. And so that's when I was writing the first verse. That's all I was thinking about was like, okay, there's a calling that, I've felt it all my life. And I'm just trying to think about what were the disciples feeling. And so that's what it is. But then, yeah, the video that I wish I could say I came up with the whole idea for that, but I didn't. It was some friends of ours here at Bethel, and just the creative team. They were like, what about, we with your son, my son, his name's Bear, and we do a video of him, and it's him coming into this journey with, and I was like, yes, that's amazing. And so the cool thing about that is, I'm just diving right into this. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, do it. Yeah.
The cool thing about this is I we were thinking about the whole, that the premise behind my son uh hearing a calling and stepping out into adventure with the Lord, and really just kind of even just boyhood coming into, just life growing up. But I in the process I found a letter that my father wrote me, gosh, 23 years ago, 1997. And I read, just this, it was on Christmas Eve. It was just a really amazing, sweet letter that my dad wrote me. I was in high school, and we were like, they were the guys doing the filming. They were like, you should do a letter to Bear, and he opens it in the video and everything. So when we started filming, we were all on location. That sounds so, wow, that sounds a little posh, but
That's what you're supposed to say.
but
That's
I
what it's
mean,
called.
that's what we were. We
Yeah.
were, and I didn't have a letter. I hadn't written down a letter yet, or at least like a fake letter for him to open. So I did have the old letter that my dad wrote me, And so in some of the scenes on the video, my son Bear is actually opening up a letter that his grandfather wrote me. And so that was really special. It just kind of like bringing it all around felt so special. But he did amazing. We were a little we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if he would even want to do it. And then so I get asked a lot, did you like make him do that? Or did like no, I mean we asked him, we encouraged him.
Mhm.
But honestly, when he found out he was gonna get to be on YouTube, that was like, okay. Yeah. I didn't want to tell him that, I could just film a video with my phone of him and throw it up on YouTube.
I never even thought about the difference in posing that question to a kid. If you ask him, do you want to be in a music video? That's different than saying, do you want to be on YouTube? Like,
right.
you said
No,
YouTube?
the music video was not as near as cool as the idea of being on YouTube for him, which he doesn't hop around on YouTube much. So, which maybe that's why he thinks it's even more amazing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you remember, because that was one of the things I was wanting to ask you is, what does that letter say?
The letter that my dad wrote me.
Yeah. Did you write the other one yet?
I did not did it.
Wow.
I did the one I wrote Bear was basically my own version of the song lyrics that he could like read through, and then we were reading it together in the video. The letter from my dad was basically just him, telling me how proud he was. It was 1997. I'm gonna date myself here, but I was a senior in high school that year.
Yeah,
And,
we're the same. We're the same, so it's okay.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
I look so young. People are always so shocked to find out how old I am.
Me too.
Yeah. So I was a senior in high school. So I remember it was the Christmas. So, and we had gone through a tough time in our home. My parents separated and divorced when I was right around that age. So, I remember like him writing me a letter, just telling me how much he loves me and how proud he was of me. And like, I know these years have been tough, but I'm never gonna not love you and all that. It was just amazing. It was such a sweet, special. And my dad, we're really close still to this day. So it was really cool. And it was cool to get to tell him that. I didn't get to he had no idea that I kept that letter. He's written me a lot of letters. I've kept them all. And he didn't realize that I kept all that. And so when I showed him the video of Bear, I would point it out. I was like, Dad, that's the letter you wrote me that he's holding in 1997. So that was really special.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Was that letter in your son's pocket when he went to jump off that rock in the video?
No.
I know that's his favorite part, and that's my least favorite part as a mother. I was like, oh no, because I didn't see it coming.
Yes, and that water. Well, so we did some movie tricks in there.
Good.
The ocean that he's at and where all the ocean scenes are filmed is the coast here in California, and which is very cold. It was like 60 degrees outside, but then, or maybe in the 50s, but the water, it's freezing. And so we didn't make him jump in to that. He actually, he did run in and out of it. Like you see him running out of it, and he did get fully wet and ran out of it. But we immediately threw towels and blankets on him and we went home. But he actually, when he jumps into the water, that's the local lake here in town, Whiskey Town Lake, and which he jumps in that lake about once a week. So and it's very warm, and so yeah, we made sure we waited for the underwater scenes to be here in warm Redding.
So cool. Well, the video is awesome. Total adventure. I mean, like also the feel of the song is very Phil Collins Tarzan. Like this could be the credits to a movie or the best adventure part. Like it seriously is really sweet. I think The Chosen, I think it would sound great on The Chosen, to have the disciples with that. Yes. I love when you talked about that. It'd be a cool vibe for that too.
That's true.
I'm curious now that you're saying it started as a song for a friend. Was the friend Kim Walker-Smith?
No? It was another well-known artist. That's Stephanie Gretzinger.
Oh, she would rock that song.
Yeah, she I came in. It's funny. This is when Steph lived in Redding here, and she was working on her album with one of my close friends, Bobby Strand, who did my War Is Over album. and they were riding, and I think they were just getting stuck. And so Bobby called and was like, "What are you doing today?" So I wasn't doing anything. So I just ran over there real quick, and they had like the idea of this like wild. They were just calling it the wild, and I just came in there. I remember not. It's kind of a funny story because I tell the story a lot when I'm talking about just songwriting and just like even when you don't feel like you have anything to give, just almost like just showing up daily or whenever you've got to set a time to write. Just showing up sometime is just enough that day to get something sparked, and that's all I felt like I was doing. I just kind of went because these are my friends, and I was like, I'll see what I can add. But I wasn't feeling any kind of inspiration, anything at all. And I remember I went and sat in the room, and Bobby's playing the piano, and they were kind of telling me the vibe of the song, but they hadn't gone like in a direction stylistically. And Bobby just starts playing, and I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting there with acoustic, like just thinking I don't have anything. And even the way Bobby was playing just started to move and change. And Steph was like, "Wait a minute, that's different from the way you were playing before Josh got in here." And he's like, "I know. I guess when I just get around him, I just like start getting these country vibes and these and stuff." Which is funny because neither one of them are country at all.
Nope.
But so it was like the whole song started to take this direction towards like me stylistically, and I kind of had nothing to do with it other than just showing up and being there in the room. And then once we felt it was going that direction, we were just like, yeah, we should do this song for Josh, and then we'll get back into they were writing for Steph's album. But so yeah, that's kind of how it happened. And it's really cool because then later I took it really felt more like mine, and we added more things to it. I finished the verse this past year. But yeah, it's such a cool picture of just, hey, even when you don't feel like you have anything to give, just like saying yes sometimes is enough. Just say yes, be there, and then the Lord will show up. There's a lot, I think sometimes we wait to do. I know with me songwriting, I wait to be inspired sometimes, and sometimes I just need to be disciplined, and then the inspiration can come into those times of discipline. So
yeah, that's awesome. There's a lot of commonalities in between you and Kim Walker Smith for right now. She was in the Redwood Forest for some of her photo shoots. I'm surprised you didn't bump into her there, but I guess your photos were at night, which I think is really cool. The artwork for you in the hat is like very John Wayne, and it's way cool.
Yes. Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Yeah. Is that what you were going for? Has this been a lifelong goal of yours?
To be a cowboy. Maybe I do love Westerns. I mean, I grew up in North Carolina. I didn't necessarily grow up on a farm or, riding horses, but I don't know. That feels in a lot of ways that vibe and it feels natural to me. And it just feels like I'm not having to try to be something that I'm not even. And some of it was like our idea to just like, I want to like ease into this look and this vibe for this album, if that makes sense. And then, I can't remember if I found the hat or, yeah. So actually the girl that did all the photos, she's a really close friend of our family. She actually she lives in our neighborhood here, and during quarantine she moved in with us for a little bit. But her name is Jordana Griffith, and she's amazing photographer, and she has also been on this journey this past year, doing photography for a lot of Western stuff. She'd go to rodeos throughout like the area, and just had this desire to like shoot Western photography and do a book. She's working on a book, and so that was because she lived with us for a little while. We knew that we had been talking about that, and that's where the whole the theme of this kind of began. I was like, wow, that would feel really cool to like do something like that. And so it kind of all started from there. And then the funny thing though is we were in Nashville. I was recording in the summer, and that's where we shot all those pictures. And it was like 90 something degrees. I'm sweating because I have all that stuff on, and And another fun fact of that photo shoot that no one knows, we were trying to think of like, okay, who do we know that have like a cool, cabin type feel and live out in the woods and could make a great campfire for, look, this bonfire thing. And so I remember visiting my good buddy, Luke Smallbone, in the
Really?
summer for King and Country. And my wife and his wife have gotten to be really good friends. And so my wife texted his wife and was like, hey, Josh is going to be in town next week shooting stuff for his album. Can he like come by your property and maybe like, and they were like, yes. And then, so we get there and they like the red carpets rolled out for all of, like Luke's like, I built a fire, and he's like running us all. He's got this big, what do you call it? The 4x4, the quad, those things that, you drive them all through your land.
Oh.
Yeah. The Ranger type thing.
Like a Gator mobile.
Yes,
rover
Gator
of some
yeah.
kind.
Right.
I don't know, golf cart.
Golf cart. Yeah, it's a off-roading golf cart.
Yeah,
but he was
glorified.
yes, he was on that running us all through, his property. And so a lot of those pictures that you see are on Luke's property, and that fire that I'm around he built that fire, and that's
He
in his
personally built
backyard.
that fire for you.
He did.
That's awesome.
And so I know it was pretty cool, pretty special.
So maybe now's a good time to talk about the song Best Friends, now that you and he are so close. And I mean, you have any kind of
I just realized I'm just supporting Zach today too.
There you go.
This was not on purpose. It just happened to be clean today. So
it's a good shirt. That's a good song. That's a good conversation starter with anybody. If you see them wearing I always will fall for that. I'm always commenting on if it's a song, we're going to have a talk in a minute.
Yeah.
But the song Best Friends, you did a Hillsong Young and Free cover. I have not heard it yet because it's not out as of the day we're talking here, but right. that's not a country song at all.
No, not at all.
Now,
not at all.
I think the wild card is doing that song with Molly Kate Skaggs, who can rip the roof off of. I mean, she's fantastic. Ain't No Grave is probably amazing. What people might know her from, but she's, with the Helsters and Cageless Birds, and her on that song. So tell us a little bit. Why this song?
Right. Well, you know what? It actually involves this room, which is cool. I was earlier this year, and during the big quarantine part of the year, it was when the song came out, Best Friends.
Yeah.
And I remember I was in here listening to it. It was before quarantine because the kids were at school. I'm in here playing my guitar, listening to music. My wife is in our room down the hall. And I'm just listening to that song and thinking, that song is so good. Wow. But it's way too cool for me. I'm like too country. I'm too old to pull this off. I just remember thinking, because I was thinking I would love to lead this song for worship, but I'm like, I can never get away with this. It's way too cool for me. And so I'm joking around, and I have my harmonica on me, and I just start playing like a little country version of it, and playing my harmonica and doing, all of my best friends, and just that kind of vibe. And I'm like joking around kind of, and I stopped playing, and my wife like just yells in from the room. She's like, that feels really good. You should just like do something with that. And I was like, really? And so I did a video of, we went to, we shot some videos at the lake, the local Whiskeytown Lake. And the last video we did, I was doing some other songs for the new album. And the last video, one of the guys knew that I did Best Friends, joking around. He was like, dude, just do Best Friends real quick, and then we'll be done, because the sun was going down. So I did it on there, and it was like when we posted it, people loved it. And then we were almost done with the album, and one of the guys here at Bethel Music, they were like, dude, why are you not just putting Best Friends on this album, like your version? And so we were like, okay, yeah. I was like, if we do it though, can we just make it just country, just like pedal steel, all the the fiddle, and just there's an accordion, and just all that. And I said also, I would love to have my friend Molly Skaggs sing with me, and just sing some Emmylou Harris harmonies on it, and so I called Molly, and she was just all about it. She loved it, and which her father is a very well known Ricky Scat.
Right.
So it's in her blood. I was like, if anyone knows how to do this, it's Molly. So yeah, it might be my favorite song on the album. I mean, it probably is. I mean, it's the one song I didn't write, so it's easy to just say it's my favorite because I'm not attached to it as far as like writing. I can just do it. But I love how it turned out. It's so special to me, and it's so different from Young and Free's version, but it's such a great song. It shows you how great a song it is because it holds up from either version. Their version's so happy and just like, and my version's not sad, but it brings out the depth of the lyrics. I think it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's really special, and it was just so cool to get to do that with Molly.
That's awesome. I loved
Yeah.
seeing that in the track listing for the project. I can't wait to hear it. And can you yell in it? Do you yell in it a lot?
Do I yell?
I feel like that's part of the best part of the song is that you get to yell. It's like yelling and singing.
No,
that song.
We did take out the "we want
Yeah.
it."
Yeah.
You'll hear it. It wouldn't have fit. It wouldn't have fit in there, but I do play harmonica on it.
I was gonna say, as long as you fill that space with accordion, harmonica, and Molly Skaggs, I think that's a good substitute.
Yeah. No,
any day.
it's there. All the space is full. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got another, we're talking today on a Thursday. You've got another single that's coming out tomorrow. I think it's probably tomorrow somewhere already. Can you tell us?
That's true.
Yeah, right? Like, seem like trying to get around the rules.
Yeah.
What's the second single?
The second single is called New Creations. And I love this song. I mean, I love all of them, but it's in my top 3 probably on the album. And this one is, it's about new creations. It's obviously about like just the Lord and how we've been made new, and but it also just the vibe of it. It feels so. It's very Tom Petty-ish. It just I'm saying all these names, realizing they're all like behind. I'm like, I don't know.
Point.
Yeah, it's very Tom Petty.
Ding.
And then there's Emmylou. I just realized. Wow,
that is so funny.
But I did not plan that. Well, I didn't plan it because I didn't even have all this set up. I wrote that, actually, speaking of For King and Country, I wrote that with 2 of the guys in the band, Ben and Mark, and I went on tour with For King and Country last year, and we got to be good friends, me and their band, and they have similar music interests and vibes as me, and so we had always talked about last year, like, let's get together, let's hang, let's write. So we finally did, and I got to I had this idea with another friend of mine, Ethan, for this song, and we brought it to him, and it just, we wrote it on a 6-string acoustic guitar, and it's very it's just got a nice groove, nice Tom Petty Learning to Fly kind of groove, more harmonica on it. Yes. I promise not all these songs are so country, only a few of them.
I was just going to ask how many songs, if the church is going to do some of your songs corporately, are there any, as you think about the record, are they going to need a harmonica to pull it off?
No.
Maybe multi-tracks can help with that. But I know My King Forever is a great corporate song. Are there others that stand out as this is one that the church is going to love to sing?
Yes. I was going to say that these first few singles are definitely like more of the singer-songwriter artist type songs. And but yes, I mean, it's hard for me not to write corporate worships. I mean, it's kind of like in me. I have to force myself to go the other way to the artist side of it because everything just kind of wants to come out corporate for the church. But so there's definitely that. There's My King Forever, which it was on a live album that I released earlier this year, and we lead it all the time here. And I mean, it's maybe my favorite worship song that I wrote right now that I've been doing. And then another one that I think is really special is called Mighty God, and it's actually like an upbeat, This Is Amazing Grace type feel of a song, which is
you're doing an upbeat corporate worship
song. I know, which is like so hard to feel like
really hard.
I remember we wrote that song. I wrote it with Ed Cash and Ethan Hulse, and I was like, Ed, we just wrote an upbeat worship song that I don't think is cheesy. Like that's really hard. And so that one, I feel like that one would be one that you can really grab on and sing. And you know, there's My Hands Are Open is on there, and My Hands Are Open was a song that we did on the Bethel Music Revivals in the Air album. So that one's definitely got a core. It kind of teeters along the is it country, is it corporate worship, you know, it just kind of depends on who's playing in your band, you know. So,
I
or
love
maybe
that
where you're playing.
yeah, I love that the Bethel record has versions of, if you listen to those songs on the other places they appear, I don't know
Yeah.
how they did that they made it sound corporate. Some of Callie's stuff, it's like,
Right.
what? Whoa, but it
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
so well both ways.
Yeah.
So cannot wait for the project, due out really, really soon on October 2nd. Fantastic songs, you know, already have the music video. Is your daughter asking to have her own? Is she gonna?
She actually she was, and she's in. So I have there's a song on the album called Your Voice, and we wrote it right around when my wife was going through some anxiety and panic attack stuff last year. And I was writing that song right around when she was going through all that. And so that song has been like special to her. It's been her song. So there's a video coming out. It's a part of the deluxe album version, you know, on I think Apple Music, but then it'll also be on YouTube, you know, where anybody can get it. But and it's a video of my wife talking about her journey with that as it relates to the song. And then we did a little acoustic video of me playing the song with my daughter with me. We're on the beach. It was the day that my son, we made him run into the ocean. So that night we went out to the beach, and I sat down and played the song, and my daughter Ellie's with me there. So everyone is making an appearance on this album. We have covered all of our immediate family bases.
There you go.
And we're good. Except next we'll have to incorporate my in-laws from Chambersburg next time.
Okay. I know that it's a local tie-in for those of you here in Pennsylvania. There are, you know, there's family close by, and shout out to
Very close
them
by.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank them for listening to WJTL.
Yes.
So Josh, thanks for talking with me today. I love this stuff. So many little treasures and special things about the stories behind the songs, these lyrics. I love your wife's input. I hope she's listening in a room somewhere close by and liking this interview. She's awesome.
I hope so too.
So yeah, props to Sheila. Thanks for getting Best Friends on the record, starting that whole ball rolling. And it's going to be available everywhere really, really soon. Josh, thanks for joining me and chatting.
Thank you so much for having me.